there's a philosophical kind of conundrum that people get into. It's called the ship of Theseus. I think I'd done a video on it a while back. And I was thinking about this as it might apply to what you would call like groups that have existed for great lengths of time, as it might pertain to Christianity, it feels like. So basically the ship of Theseus has to do with a ship that they were trying to preserve, right? And they would take it on a yearly journey, I think, and they eventually replaced every single part of the ship because they were keeping to have to fix stuff, and eventually the ship itself was completely, like, there were no original parts that remained. The argument is over whether or not that's still the same ship. I would tend to think it is, at least in some sense of the word. But as it applies to Christianity, you could argue that the church we have today, that there was no break in the fine old tradition. And therefore the church that exists today is the same church that existed thousands and thousands of years ago, right? It's the early church. It is the original brotherhood as well, right? We are kind of the recipients of that legacy. And I feel like people would probably tend to act this way as well, at least to some extent. Right, in that when a person sees the Christians around them and they see the Christians behaving a certain way, right? If they're hypocritical, if they're pious, if they're not willing to indulge questions or answer questions about their doctrines, and they tend to sweep stuff under the rug, a person can look at that and say, holy crap, if this is how Christians are now, that's how they were back then. That's how the apostles were. That's how the early church was. And if I can't trust these people now, then everything that Christianity stands for is undermined. It's not just our own reputations, the reputations of our own church, our own good name that's on the line. It's the good name of all of Christianity. It's this Theseus Legacy. Anyways, thanks for watching. Well, goodness, where does this go? Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please press the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment if you want to.